The mental load of running your own estate agency as a married couple. Today, I'm joined by Juli and Chris Poulton from Sunderland, who have been running their own letting and estate agency whilst having 7 kids. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure.
Juli, let's come to you first. What do you mean by the balancing act of the mental load of running a business together and running a household together?
I think probably a lot of women will identify with this. It's when you've been at home and you've got the children, you're running everything, you're organising everything. So, you know, you're dishing out the assignments, who needs to do what needs to be cleaned, who, you know, everything getting ready.
An award for your husband when he does the dishwasher?
Yeah.
A big medal, yeah? Big.
Kudos.
And the bins.
Look how,
Hey,
good we are.
Bins out.
So, yeah.
That's half the trouble, isn't it?
But that is what I'm talking about,
It is, to us it is.
Because did you have to be asked to do that?
Yeah, we shouldn't do, but you're not men alike.
Yeah,
I'm not defending
this is what I'm talking about. You're carrying that mental load of I've got to manage that. I've still got to ask somebody. One of the things that we did is we sat down and we split up the responsibilities. We said, right, we're in this 50-50 or is it 60-30? Who's doing what?
60-40, that's only 90%.
Oh, sorry.
Carry on.
But that's exactly, we said, who's going to be responsible for this, that and the other? And I can't even think about it. And I said to Chris, I said, look, if you're responsible for doing the meals on the evening, I can't even think about that. I can't even think about what needs to be bought to cook those and prepare those meals. That's your responsibility. And that's what we did. So I don't even 100% know our children's teachers' names because Chris deals with the school stuff. All of the school notifications, he's the first contact. He does the pickups more than I do.
It's more than just the actions. It's about knowing that somebody's got it covered, so you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
See, that, you know, what you're saying is you sit down and you actually say, that's your department.
That's you, that's me. Just like you would in business.
Not a case, so it's just like running a business.
Yeah.
Running a household is like running a business. You're responsible. The default setting is you pick the kids up or drop the kids off in the morning unless we agree otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that
Hence,
frees
we haven't
up.
got the issue of that I've got to ask you to put the bins out.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for the bins, by the way?
The kids.
Kids.
Okay. and let's do
I know it goes out. I know it goes out on Friday. So
me,
if I see it's not done, I do it.
Crazy. Obviously, coming from a really busy business and a busy household, you know, for me, the Saturday afternoon shopping is kind of like my time. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, it's my thing. I go and do the shopping. I know what we're going to eat. And it's just an hour and a half. I'll put a podcast on, normally Fight and Talk from the BBC or something like that. And I'll just listen to that as I'm doing the shopping. And that's just a default now. So Julie doesn't have to think what food's in, what we're going to be eating, blah, blah, blah. You know, it just means that it's not the task of doing the shopping that's been assigned. It's all of the thought about that just gone.
So I do the washing and make sure it's dry. Chris folds it and puts it away. So generally,
amazingly well, by the way.
You're better than I do. But it's looking at our strengths and weaknesses in the home and deciding who's going to be responsible for what, and then that clears up the headspace.
I think that compromise is also important as well. You know, but it's the same in business. It's this whole, well, actually, so we've got our son on as an apprentice at the minute, and he's working with me on the photography side of things, and I'm sitting there going, well, I know I can edit them better. But then if we did that, we'd run the entire business ourselves and never have a member of staff. So it's that ability at home or at work to kind of be able to say, well, actually, yeah, but still blooming good photo editing. You know what I mean? It's still really well done, and I think it's that ability to compromise on stuff that actually doesn't make that much of a difference.
So that's your big tip. Sit down, chivvy up the jobs, allow flexibility, but
allow flexibility, and don't
but as a
each
woman,
other. But
and as a woman, if they wash the dishes differently to how you do, or do the shopping differently to how you do, that isn't wrong.
We've got this on
that
tape,
is
so I'm
just
really happy about this.
Okay.
That's just the way that they do it. And if you don't like that, then do it yourself. That's how I've had to kind of step back, hold my tongue a little bit, and not and just let things go. You know, our house isn't as clean and tidy as it used to be when I was at home 100% of the time.
Did you fear the judgment of others questioning the way you run your life with this?
No, I didn't, but I'm probably a bit different anyway, because I felt more judgment in the playground when I'd say I'm going on holiday by myself for a week than I do running a business. And I would say, you know, when Chris was at Barclays and I was at home 100% of the time, Chris would take a week off or 10 days off of his holiday entitlement, and I would go visit my friend in Canada. Fair dues, I'd usually take the baby with me, whichever baby it was at that time. And I got more stick for that than anything else. But I was just like, well, no, running the home is my full-time job. And in order for me to do that effectively, I need to have time away from that. I need a break from that.
That was then, not now, because now you sat down and...
But we still do that now. We still do it in the same way. We still need our own space to
so Julie's
be ourselves.
Julie's off to Gran Canaria next week, is it?
Yeah, next week.
Back into next week with a couple of the kids. She's got a good deal and a good opportunity. Going abroad isn't really my thing, to be honest. So I don't need to go away to switch off. For me, it's mentally switching off as opposed to physically switching off. But yeah, you know, it's like there's no, I guess ultimately there's no right or there's no wrong way to do it. You've got to be flexible enough to kind of say that we've got a limited amount of time, a limited amount of resources. And actually, does it really matter that, you know, it's been vacuumed 7 times this week, or it's been folded and the creases aren't visible, or, you know, all of those things don't really matter.
Thank you for your time today.